Hi everyone, it is Evie, also known as EveNut6. This video is in response to Mandy from MandyBanded, which I just love you. I watched your video last night. She made a video, in case you guys are watching, she made a video of kind of like a shout out to me. She needed help with some makeup tips. She has beautiful freckles, which I would never want to cover up if I had freckles. But I do understand her concerns, and I'm going to try to help you, my love, the best way that I can. First things first, out of all things that you would spend money on, and this was a question that was asked recently in one of the blogs, and I answered it. Out of all things that you can spend your money on, the only two things that I feel are worth whatever cost is foundation and brushes, because you need proper tools to put on whatever things you need, and foundation of course is the base to everything else. So I obviously don't have the same skin as you do, Mandy, and I hope this video is gonna drag. I'm just gonna let you know now, it's just gonna be long. I don't have the same skin as you. I have very dry skin. Sometimes it's a combination where it'll get oily, but it has to be like super hot and really disgusting for that to happen. My recommendation is start off with a full coverage foundation. I saw that I think you have the CoverGirl, old school CoverGirl, and I wanted to see if you wanted to try it's the 3-in-1 Outlast Stay Flawless foundation. It's from CoverGirl. It is new. I think it has moisturizing, primes, and all that good stuff. So it primes, it covers up, and it moisturizes. I think that's what the 3-in-1 thing aspect is, but I will link a picture right here. You said you do face care, which is highly important. I actually haven't put any I haven't put anything on my face, but I figured I might try to get ready with you guys as I go along to show you some tips and tricks. So of course you moisturize, that's need be before any makeup. I just like moisturizing. Sometimes I forget and I feel it really bad on my face. The next thing I would recommend is for you to prime. Use a primer. Maybelline sells a primer for the face. Milani sells, I think they only sell an eye primer, but there are primers, and this sounds horrible because it sounds like you're painting a fence, but it makes sense. I have this primer right here. This is the Rimmel Fix and Perfect Pro. This ranges for about $7-8, so primers are a little pricey, but they're so worth it, and you only use a little bit. This is a 5-in-1 whatever, and this is a base tint. This actually, as you can see there, is white, and I would just put it on my skin, like probably my cheeks and my nose area. I might as well take off my glasses. In my nose area, you can always blend it with your hands. Of course, I always say sanitize, 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 because I am so OCD about that stuff. Now the primers most primers feel to me like a very velvety feeling. Like you feel it, it's kind of wet, but it feels more velvety than anything else. So you prime your face if you feel the need to. That Outlast foundation already has a primer, and it is full coverage, and what that does is it gives you a nice flawless all over look to your face. You might still see your freckles. I think the freckles around your face are just too cute, but whatever. You were talking about you having freckles around the mouth area. Next step would be to conceal. Whatever kind of concealer you like, I always say get a concealer that matches your skin tone, because what that's gonna do, if you get something brighter, like everyone's like, buy a bright concealer. Yeah, those are great for highlighting areas that you want to be seeing, because the moment you put on something lighter to your face, your eyes gonna automatically go to that particular part in the face. You might need something a little bit thicker in consistency, so I have the NYX full coverage concealer, and this is very thick, and this you would apply with your finger. So for instance, I am very sallow right here, as you guys can see, and I know y'all can see. I know my camera washes me out sometimes, but I have that same bruising that you have there, and I also, it just looks like I got punched in the face all the time, and I do have some sallowness there. But I don't use this concealer as much anymore because I feel like it's too thick for me. I don't want that kind of feel on me. I don't really care for it, and it creases up on me. Now mind you, concealers are all gonna crease. There's no, they're all gonna crease. So go for something, it's trial and error. So try something a little thicker to cover up this area, and go for something a little thinner that goes around the eyes. I love, my favorite is this Age Rewind by Maybelline. They run for about $10, I want to say. I don't really click it, but I will show you guys how I apply it, and I do have this right here. So you just put it on. I have sallowness in my eyes, and you don't put it on anywhere else. If you want to conceal, we'll just go all out. I don't normally conceal these areas, but why not? Just for you, Mandy. Okay, now I was talking about brushes. You can always use your finger. I prefer to spread the product with a brush and then pat in with my finger. If you like to use your finger, we can do that. So I have a big mirror in front of me, but I'll use my little one. So you just pat in with your ring finger. And this is a neutralizer shade. This is a shade 50. And I just go under my eyes and pat. And you go bring it all the way up here. So you take whatever's on your finger and you just bring it, press it on that area of the eye. I bring it down so that when I put my foundation, it blends. As you can see, I'm applying it before my foundation. I do it both ways. I do it after foundation and I do it before foundation. So it's pretty much whatever you fancy. So whatever product I have left on my finger, I just rub it in that area that looks kind of bruised or sad or sallow or whatever. So you can, I hope you can see the difference between this side and this side. Oh. Okay. So I'm just patting it in, kind of rubbing, but you want to warm up the product with your finger. Again, I prefer spreading the product with a brush, and then, actually let me show you. Okay, I have here my Real Techniques. This is the deluxe crease brush, and these come in kits, but you can use any type of brush. You can use a small foundation brush. You can use maybe like a small eye pencil, like a small eye brush, kind of like the blending brushes that I always use. These are $1. You can pick them up if you want to spread powders, like powders under the eyes and stuff like that. I recommend using a smaller brush. I like to use this brush. You guys have seen me do this a million times. And I like to spread the product. So I even bring it up here and I like to spread the product. And then I just tap with my finger just to warm it up and help pat it in. The things we do for beauty. Huh. So I would say I'm okay concealed. I'm just going to touch up with my brush. I want to blend this in a little bit better. Blending is key to like everything almost. I don't normally conceal this area, but whatever. Okay, so my first recommendation would be to pick up a new foundation, and I think if this is the same brand CoverGirl that you have, then I don't think the shades are very different, but this one has a primer and it's full coverage, meaning that it's thicker. It shouldn't feel heavy on the skin, but it has more opaqueness to the formula, meaning, you know, it'll just cover up a lot more. You don't want to cover up too much of the freckles, because either way, once the sun hits you, you will notice them a little bit more. But I definitely recommend something like this as a neutralizer shade to just try to cover up the freckles. Now, if you decide you don't want a neutralizer, go for something that is the same shade as your face. Not the shade between your freckles, not the shade of your freckles. You want to go with like a shade maybe around the cheek area to the neck. That's going to be your shade match type thing. I suck at it, but one day hopefully you'll get better at it. But I do recommend that you try this, especially under the eyes, and maybe just even try it on the lip. But if you don't feel comfortable using that, I would recommend using a heavier concealer. As far as the freckles go for something skin based. Start off with a nice foundation and then start concealing and just blend in. Now you said you want to try getting your foundation even. So if you've seen my videos, you know that I always use a brush. And of course my favorite brush is the Real Techniques buffing brush. I got these at Ulta. They come in a set of 4, and it also comes with this foundation brush, this blusher. This is a contour brush, and it comes with this little cute little pen. Like, this is a cute little detailer brush, and this is perfect for getting those little freckled areas, putting concealer on just those areas that you want to conceal, and then just patting it with your finger just to warm up the product and push it into the skin. This is a perfect brush for that. Also to get around your nose. I used to use it a lot to get around my nose ring, and I kind of got over it, but I really like this brush. So this is a set that comes, and you can find it at Ulta. I love these brushes because I don't get any fallout from them. I wash them and they get softer. I will show you how I apply my foundation. I always recommend using a brush and then kind of blending in with your finger, because that's just the way I do it, the technique. So I'm just gonna get ready pretty much, and I'm gonna put my foundation on. You can always spread with your fingers, and then like I'll just do it this way. I'll put it on with my fingers and then just kind of blend it in a little bit. I know I'm off the camera, sorry guys, I can't see myself. And I'm gonna leave that concealed area alone. As you can see, this doesn't give me even coverage. I'm not rubbing it in as I should anyway, but you know, just to show you how you can apply it. And then use a brush of any sort that you prefer. I prefer a buffing brush because you blend it into the skin so much better. It goes right in, it soaks up. So you guys have seen me do this a million times probably. That's if you guys watch my makeup videos as much. And as you can see, it just blends it a lot better, a lot more even into the skin. You can go back and buff in some areas that you feel that's a little too heavy. You can always pick up product and move it where you want it. So, yeah. Now, I put foundation on my eyes. I don't have oily lids, so do not by any means put foundation in your eyes if you have oily lids or if you have semi-oily lids or anything. I'll be back. I'm going to fill in my brows, and you guys have seen me do it. I use a brush and powder, and I'll be back. It's just the best that my eyebrows are going to ever look. Anyway, you were talking about this bad boy right here, how much you hate it. I agree. This is very drying when you put it on, and then it just kind of melts away. It does not last 12 hours on me. I will show you what I think would be best. You might not be able to use a liquid liner unless you have a base. Okay, on your eyes, I would always recommend using a primer. This is a Wet n Wild Fergie primer. You can find it at CVS, Walgreens, everywhere. I've seen it everywhere they have Wet n Wild. I've seen this, and this is just a primer. You put it on your lids, and when you tend to have oily lids, it's kind of like the more you need as a base. So you just kind of pat it on your eyes. Don't go too far, just put it on your lid because that's where you need to concentrate on, and a little bit on your crease. And I just pat in the product. Okay, now for the eyes, I actually liked your eye look, Mandy. I thought it was like gorge. I love golden hues. I wanted to show you a couple palettes. You've probably seen them if you've seen any of my other videos. This is the Comfort Zone palette, and I really like this palette. It's got everything from a nice hollow green, purple, brown hue right here. I'll swatch it for you. As you can see there, I'm not sure. It's like a green, purple, brown. It's just kind of a weird color. On me, it looks like a bruise, so I do not recommend that color unless you put it under the eye. But these 3 shades right here, you can make a nice neutral eye look with that, and even like define it with this on the crease. I'm not going to use this. I'm actually going to use a look that I did the other day when I went to MAC. And these palettes are really inexpensive. You can pick one of these up if you like the colors on it. I always say go for something with a little shimmer but not too much, and a matte color would always look good to just kind of bring out whatever. This is a really good palette. This one's Sweet as Candy, and it has a nice brow bone color that you can use under the brows, and in your tear duct, and then you can use the pink all over the lid, and then just tap in the brown on the outside corner right there, and then just blend. So you do need brushes. I'm going to show you the look I do. What was I talking about? I would actually recommend for you to try the 24-hour color tattoos. These work great as a base. You don't even need a primer. You can just put these on the base as a base and then just work whatever shadows you have over it. So I'm just gonna take some product, put it on my lid. This is similar to what this is actually the same one I used in my no mirror makeup challenge. So you just pat it into your eye, and you have a natural crease right in your eye. I actually love the shape of your eyes. I could do so many looks with that because it doesn't crease like mine. Mine's creases and I hate it, but you gotta deal with what you got. I have that on my lids, and just let it sit there for a little bit and it won't move, which I like very much. It will not move. Okay, now I'm going to be using NYX Iced Mocha, and this is just a shimmery like brown taupe color. The brush that I'm assuming that you had yesterday was this one. This is an e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. This is what we call a C brush. It's dusty. It's a C brush, and it's used to pack on color, and these work really, really good. I'll show you how I pack on the color. So you want your eyes to be nice and bright on the inside. At least that's my preference. So I would just take it and pat it on. Pat on the color kind of in a C motion this way, but don't go too out of your eye because, you know, you'll go too far and then you'll regret it. And I'm going in a C motion, or a V, a sideways V, or backward C, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going up to the crease right here, and then I'll take the brush and move it like that. I'm going to do the other eye. Now, one eye always looks better on me than the other, and I think it's this eye. No flippin' clue. Now you can kind of see the transition between the two colors. You see the pinkish and the brown. I think they're just very neutral shades. I would always start off with neutral colors. You can use any transition shades, and transition would be what you use to blend the color into your eyebrow bone, whatever. I would always go to my Physicians Formula Classic Canyons palette. And because of these two shades, they look very close to my skin. They're very powdery, but especially that lighter one. You can use these as a transition color lightly over your eyes, and I'll show you, but not with these. I actually have two other colors that I'll be using for my look today. So I'm going to be using an e.l.f. blending brush, which you can get at Target or anywhere that sells e.l.f. These brushes are $1 and I absolutely love them. And I'm just gonna, I have a Max Kid right here that I've been loving lately. Just tap off the product. And I'm going to transition the colors. So I'm just going to blend it upward into my eye bone, and I'll show you. I'm just going to. And it's very subtle change. You won't really tell anything, really. But you see how I'm working it into the eye like that? Kind of just want to make it a universal look and blend it up into the brow. Funk it out. You have beautiful, beautiful shaped eyes, like almond shape. It's just, they're so pretty, and you can do so many looks with that, and you can see the transition of colors even better with a shape of lid like that. So I really just love your eyes. Now I'm going to take another color. This is more of a purpley, muted purple, mauve, brown color, if that makes sense. I'm going to take the same brush and just tap that in and just work it in where I had blended already. Where I put the darker shade, that's where I'm going with it. And blending into the pink. actually use my Real Techniques base shadow brush, and I'm going to use the lightest color on this palette. Always nice to have a nice matte creamy shade, and this will help with the circles or the punching bags that you're talking about over here. It's what I call them, punching bags, because it looks like you get punched. And just take it and sweep it. Sweep it right in there. And it'll just kind of mattify that area and not bring attention to it, so it won't brighten it so much. There we go. They sell so many brushes. Brushes are going to be your best friend because they're your tools. Okay, now the trick to eyeliners is I really wouldn't recommend using these liquid liners. I have the same infallible one. It does not work for 12 hours. It bites. I actually, even though I said I did not like it, it was like in one of my videos, I just didn't like it. I love it, and it's the Maybelline Stiletto line thing, but this is more for a liquid look. If you have oilier lids, or you know, they smudge very easily, I would recommend a pencil. And this is the Scandalize from Rimmel. These are waterproof kohl's, and I have quite a few colors. I have brown, which I think it's beautiful for nice day look. You put a brown, it goes great with golds and corals, and oh, just fantastic, fantastic. And if you feel comfortable using, like, these are the Wet n Wild color icon pencils. They come in dark brown, they come in black, sable, all that. And Avon sells some amazing eyeliner, whatever, but these are nice. If you shop at Avon, really look into their eyeliners. They're really great and they're inexpensive. I would recommend using a gel liner. This is the NYX gel liner in jet black. I think they just last so beautiful on the eyelid. Like, it lasts me a long time. It doesn't smudge. Wet n Wild from the Fergie line makes the same eyeliner, and it's pretty much the same one as the Wet n Wild original eyeliner, and it comes in brown and black, and I think they're amazing. So I can use this if I prefer, or I can just use a pencil, which I really like both, you know, looks. But I will use a pencil because I don't need two hands to use a pencil, I think. So you pretty much just match the bottom lash line of your eye, and you go up from there. So you can just lightly tap. As you can see, I'm just tapping, and this is a really rich pencil, and then just kind of go in to where you want your line to look. I don't know, I wish I could do that to the other side too, huh? And then I just take the line and just meet it halfway and go straight. As you can see there. Then just fill it in. And you could do the same thing. Liquid liners, gel liners, you can do the same thing. Of course, you use a brush with the gel liners, but and with these kind of pencils I use very short strokes, and it kind of pats in, again, the patting motion, it pats in the product, so it helps it set a little better. And there you go, you got a wing liner, or you can just do a nice, just basic thin line on the eye. Just gonna do this eye and then I'll come back. Okay, now winged eyeliners take so long because you're never gonna get a match. Your eyes just are never gonna look even. That's just not gonna happen as long as they look, you know, proportionate. Now, you also have to take in mind that your eyelashes will also help create that, you know, smiley, you know, cat eye effect. Another trick to maybe keeping your eyeliner stay on longer is using a black eyeshadow, and I mean a matte black eyeshadow. I don't have any that aren't shimmery besides this one. This is from my Urban Decay Make It 2 palette. These retail for $50. These are awesome palettes, and look at the array of nude colors. Like, look how pretty that is. And I use this black, this is called Blackout, and I take, this is an e.l.f. angled eyeliner brush, and I just take some product. You can wet it with water. I have a spray meant for that. It's called Fix Plus, and I usually just spray something like this. This is Fix Plus. I usually just spray the brush, or you can lightly wet the brush with water and just tap it on any shadow that's really dark, black. Just take the product that you got on there, even though it could be powdery, it could be, you can liquefy it by using a wet brush, but you just kind of go over the liner area with this brush. Now you're gonna get some fallout with some eyeshadow, so you gotta be careful with that. That's why I haven't powdered up yet, because of my eyes. On the other eye, and what this does is pretty much the same concept that we do with our faces when we powder them to set them. It's pretty much what you're doing with the shadow. It should last you longer. It shouldn't bleed into your eyelid if you have that problem. Okay. Even if you like your liquid liners, pat it in with some black eyeshadow, a matte black eyeshadow. I wanted to say, if you want to add a pop of color under your eyes, you can use anything from pencils to eyeshadows. So I like to use, like, say you want to try out a new color but you don't know how it's gonna look. I'm going to use, let me just use the one I had, the NYX one, and I pretty much just use a very small accent brush like this. I tap on the product and just put it under my lid, under my waterline right here under the lashes, and you just kind of rub it in. And that's a great way to add maybe like a pop of color, like a purple, orange, a red, you know, green, blues. You know, if you want to just add a little bit of color without it looking so cheesy, whatever neutral shades you have should work fine with whatever color you put under here. So of course, when you blend in your powder, and if you want to use the little poofy thingy that comes with it, you take it, you pat on the product, and you pat it and rub it, more like put pressure on those areas like you conceal around here, and up here. You want to push the product in. You don't want to rub, because what that's going to do is move around product. So this is the product I use all over my face. I hope these tricks help you. I definitely would recommend you to pick up way more brushes, and it's okay to use your fingers, especially for blending those concealers. That's what's going to work best for you. And I'm going to do my eyelashes now. I'm just going to curl my lashes. I curl my lashes. I don't know why, they're already curly, but kind of gets them away from my face a little bit more. So curl your eyelashes. I would recommend using waterproof mascara, hands down, especially if it smudges everywhere and you hate it so much. So I would recommend trying the Maybelline Rocket Volume Express in waterproof, and this is a really nice mascara. I use it for work. I absolutely love. The brush is huge, but it works for me, and I will show you. I just like the way it works. Always start from the root, because you want to get the most spread eyelashes starting from the root, and then just work it out. I put it on the bottom lashes. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but if you are going to put anything on your bottom lashes, I would personally prefer a waterproof. Lipsticks. As far as lipsticks go, I don't care what my husband says. I love a good lip stain, honey, but I personally hate the product that you showed me. And it's that 24-hour crap. It dries my lips personally. I would really opt for maybe getting a Revlon Just Bitten lip stain. These are awesome. I use them all the time. They wear off eventually, but they just look so pretty on your lips. And they moisturize, which is the key to kissable lips. I would recommend for you to try my newest color. This is the 444 Tropical Coral, and this is a L'Oreal lipstick. It's beautiful. It is just a nice pink coral nude, if you get what I'm saying, and it'll go perfect with any skin tone. I'm gonna use Sephora Lip stain, this stays on my lips for a while. It is a little drying, that's why I put a little conditioner on my lips earlier. And I line my lips and I use this hot red. It comes in like a nice pinky rose color, which looks really pretty. It's kind of similar to this. I would recommend any kind of lipstick. I wouldn't even care if it wears off in 20 minutes. I just love all kinds of lipsticks. But I would really recommend you trying these Revlon Just Bitten ones. I have these in my work bag, so this is what I use them for. I absolutely love them. So I have a bright orange because I'm not scared of color, and I love this honey one. Is perfect. It goes with every skin tone, freckles or not, and that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna break it down to you. Maybelline, try the neutralizer. Also, if you want something a little bit better, try the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. This is really pretty. I have a shade that's very close to my match. This is 20 Sand Sable. It's a lot yellow tone, but it works for me, and it neutralizes those dark circles. You don't want something bright because it'll just bring out that spot you don't want. And also blend in that area, especially your concealer. Tap it on under the eye, and whatever's left on your finger, you blend right there, because it'll crease there and it would just look dry and cakey. You don't want that. I also recommend a waterproof mascara. Try the Maybelline Rocket Volume Lash. The Great Lash is absolutely magnificent mascara. They're still around. They still make them. Maybe I don't know if they have a waterproof version, but if they do, try it. It might not smudge on your eyes. And also blend. Key to blending is having good brushes. So I hope this helps you. And also try the CoverGirl 3-in-1 Outlast Stay Flawless foundation. I hear is wonderful. It is full coverage, meaning that it's more opaque. It'll go on your skin a little bit better, and it'll cover up. So you might not even need a concealer, but I would recommend a concealer, whether it be thick or thin. Trial and error, that's how you will learn. And any eyeshadow works best with a good primer. So prime your lids, or use, if you don't want to prime your lids, use like what we call a paint pot or a 24-hour Maybelline Tattoos. They got a good array of colors. They're all shimmery except for one taupe color that I saw. So I hope this really helps you out. I'm gonna finish getting ready because I have to film another video, but I thank you for reaching out. And if there's any other things that I missed, it's because I'm a scramble brain, and you know, I'm a weirdo like that. But if there's anything else, I'll gladly answer whatever questions. I just hope this works for you, and you just gotta invest in some better tools. So I thank you, love, for making that video, and I hope you guys like this. And any questions or any requests, whatever, feel free to leave a comment down below. Love you guys. Bye.